ancestors had to move a lot to get food to eat. But we don't move as much now, so we must find time to play and exercise.
Movement is good for our bodies and our brains. Did in my brain. Exercise is good for my brain. We must have time to move and exercise.
Studies are now showing that exercise has this wonderful correlation with enhanced learning. Dr. Chuck Willman at University of Illinois recently came out with a study where he took patients and performed an EEG before exercise, and then he had them walk for 20 minutes, and then he compared the scans after exercise. And it was amazing to see the two scans compared side by side, because after 20 minutes of walking, there was a huge difference in how the brain had reacted. And we're not talking about crazy amount of exercise, we're talking about a short amount of exercise and not very strenuous exercise either.
The brain on the left is after sitting quietly. The brain on the right is after walking. Blue areas are least active and the red areas are very active.
Exercise lights up the entire brain. Movement helps out our brains in 3 ways. First, it improves alertness and attention.
Second, it prepares and engages nerve cells to bind together and log new information. Third, it encourages new nerve cells to form. These concepts aid the brain in the flow of word sequencing patterns in math and reading, solving problems, and sorting information. Moving helps the brain learn.
The brain's motor skills to lay the framework for learning. The brain's cerebellum controls motor skills, agility, and coordination.
When the cerebellum is working well, cognitive function, which is our ability to think, increases. We think better when we move. Movement helps me learn.
There's another study done in a school where students were allowed additional physical activity time. And after 12 weeks of increased physical activity, they compared the test scores to the previous test scores before the program was implemented, and they found that there was a huge difference. Test scores had improved, which was very exciting. But they stopped the physical activity that they were doing and retested the children a few weeks later. The levels had dropped back to their original level. So it's something that has to be ongoing. It has to be continual. You can't just do it for 12 weeks and say, oh, we're good to go now. It's something that has to be done, but can just be done in short, small amounts of time. And it's shown that that really can make a difference. Also, the take-home message is, this was done in 12-week period. It doesn't take long to really reap the benefits of increased activity.
Exercise and movement not only help the brain to learn, it improves how quick we learn. In 2007, suddenly researchers found that people learned vocabulary words 20% faster following exercise than they did before exercise. That is a lot.
The research shows that working on coordination, increasing blood flow to the brain, and improving fine motor skills can lead to improved reading and writing, sustained concentration, and memory gains.
When we sit for too long, our brains tell us we must move. When this happens, it's harder to pay attention.
I'm able to move, my brain will be able to learn better.
85% of school-age children are natural kinesthetic learners.
Across the U.S., we are seeing less and less opportunities for movement to allow for more time in the classroom. Yet the current studies show that movement and physical activity are essential for learning. So by incorporating movement into the classroom or bringing the child into an action-based learning lab, the child is able to move, making that brain happy by moving, creating new neural pathways, and able to really retain more information at a faster rate. Commit to Be Fit is very excited to debut the Action-Based Learning Lab. Take a look at some of these examples to see what the lab will look like once it's set up. The lab is designed to promote purposeful, structured movement to enhance learning. While it will be fun for the students, it is not free play. Rather, the lab is a series of stations that incorporate 10 key foundations. These foundations include vestibular development, proprioception, cross-lateralization, balance, visual tracking, gross motor, fine motor, rhythm and beat, strength and endurance, and finally cardio. The students are at each station for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the activity, before rotating to the next station. While at each station, students answer questions or solve problems relating to their current classroom curriculum. The lab includes stations appropriate for grades pre-K through 7 and can be modified for all core subjects. So we're very excited to see as the children come through all the different stations that we have in our action-based learning lab, to see how effective it is in things like test prep and mastering certain skills. So we're excited to be working with all the teachers on this and have all the children come through, because we are very confident that it's going to help and big things are coming.